Tuesday, April 2nd. Earthquake Anon posts. We tested it on roaches, and now we are actually using it. If you live on the west, I advise you to check if your house is earthquake proof. Wasn't LARPing, I guess. What the shit? West Coast. 4.5 quake on East Coast. Whoa, such prophecy. He's an ESL Rusky, dumb fuck. He meant in the West. As in the Western world. Come to think of it, there was a huge earthquake in Taiwan just a couple days ago too. It was responding to that. Of course, if this actually happened, no spook would ever admit it. The West deserves it for sending weapons to Ukraine. So if true, good for Russia. What? The one good thing about living in this frozen hellhole is that when society collapses from earth-shattering quakes, we will be fine because we live on bedrock. Turks. He means Turks. Followed by faunalines that cannot sit still. Followed by millions of dumbfounded dips hits. .E1. Be right back. Learning to swim. Shield Chads report in. Hippies in BC get the Frank slide too. Stir fry Toronto in the Great Lakes. Curb stomp the East Coast with tidal waves. Roundhouse kick Newfoundland into Baffin Island. And most importantly, legal weed for everyone. 420 blaze it. There was a 4.5 and 4.3 earthquake yesterday here. Norkel. Be me. Looking at globe for cool goish at pic of the places I been 15 minutes ago. Look at place on map. Haha, that's named after Alexander the Great's horse. Geographical choke point. Fucking earthquake goes off. See thread with map of 4 quakes. Tism kicks in. If I were Russia. Handicap entrance to Black Sea. Cutting off Ukraine resupply and pesky NATO fuckers. E.C. USA, where most European theater stuff would be shipped from. The UK, for obvious reasons, mostly due to being British. Occupied Palestine, because Netanyahu will redirect all aid and efforts to our greatest ally, even if it means losing Ukraine, Poland, and everything except Israel. Russia knows this. Iran knows this. Everyone in the West refuses to see it. Well lads, I'm saying it's happening. Be sure to play Kotma 1,2,3 if you want to know what comes next. No Russian was last week. It's fault lines, you embarrassment. And some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I told you, and you did not listen. Next one will be in Richmond. And it will be much worse. Oh shit, bigger. Anyone got a link to that bread? It's gonna be used in Jerusalem to bring down that mosque. Which fault line is there on the East Coast? Fuck yes, it's time to remind them that the real seat of power in VA is Nova. CIA did this. Richmond is as close as we can aim it to Washington. Problem with this thing is that it is impossible to aim it properly. Your government knows about it, by the way. This is why France tried to launch a peace negotiations yesterday and we told them to fuck off. Hell yeah, bring on the weird science era. Russians stop drinking vodka. Shake to shit. Shakes turn into earthquakes on the other side of the planet. Is there some kind of sobriety clinic happening in Vladivostok? The only thing that would make 2024 bearable would be the discovery that Russia isn't part of the Globo Homo plan and they actually help America get rid of our gay and retarded Globo Homo price-fixing economic slavery zeitgeist. Good. Commence the jiggling. I wish I screen capped the Anon who said he had a dream that Israel was going to get hit by an earthquake. So UK is going to sink into water real soon, isn't it? On good thing about living on a fault line in the Great Basin is that when they set off a big one, all the new apartment buildings built of wood will fall down. Tell me more please. Based. Fuck the Turks. Earthquake well deserved. Based. Can you earthquake Israel Russia? Rollin' for a 6.9. That would make sense. Those fuckers will use anything to be able to shrug their shoulders and say, it was meant to be. See goyim. We were right all along. The Jeet shaker just got a whole lot bigger. How can I profit from this? Can you at least control the size? To give it a bigger chance at hitting DC? Why didn't he stop it, brothers? Do it? They did. This is something I always wanted to believe because the evildoers have such a hate boner for Russia. It seems like Russia won't bow to them, so that the powers that be run every dirty scheme as possible against them to get the world to hate them. We tested it on roaches. Vasili, are the roaches shaking yet? Yes, everything is coming along just perfectly. Wake me when it's a 6, because the quake probably won't. Yesterday some Iranian guy was saying they have the tech too. 3.6 is rookie numbers. I bet some of the bombs going off over there would register the same. Earthquake, you can't make this up. The epicenter of the New Jersey earthquake was Trump National Golf Club. What the fuck, an earthquake just flew over my house. Last 2 digits of my post will predict the strength 5-4. Different skill trees. When you don't have the reserve currency perk, you have to be more picky on class build. Wait a second fella, how you know it's gonna hit Richmond if you can't aim properly? What if you hit Tuckahoe or Washington DC? I know right, I can't feel shit up here. Is that all you got, Russian pussies? Northern New Jersey is ancient bedrock too, scoured by glaciers. The earthquake happened at 4.7 kilometers deep. Something very fucky about this. We already had an earthquake in Richmond recently, so there will be barely any pent-up energy for you to unleash. I can't tell you much for obvious reasons, but I can tell you how we call this weapon. It is called Shepton. Do you know why Taiwan produces chips so successfully, in such a big numbers? Part of it is its unique stable tectonics. There are zones we can use, where we can be relatively sure that it will not go out of control. Turkey was a disaster, we did not plan it to be that big. We are unable to cause these deep inland, so most of you people will be fine, at least for now. Retard alert. I can't hit the target because the sights are off in a random direction, so I'm going to aim for the tree next to the target instead. The highest odds of hitting the bullseye would still be to target the bullseye. Find a way to make them do that one more time, but scale it up. I'm trying to get lucky today. So they're behind what happened here in New York? Is any of this related to that orchestra terrorist attack in your country by ISIS? Should I grab my popcorn and watch what goes down in the world over the next couple weeks? All of this shit is starting to feel like a MW2 or MW3 campaign from old COD. Where you did get atches to this is supposed to work like HARP. Or more like Nikola Tesla Tech D, so you know UFO galactic fellas will stop any big earthquakes they don't allow us be too destructive. It is impossible to aim it directly by definition. We are doing it using our WASP territory. This project started long ago. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/cola_super deep_borehole. We can influence the tectonics using an array of super deep boreholes. We ran a lot of Sheptons in unison to do it. We can aim it, but since a lot of pieces are at work and they are hard to control, we are unable to aim it correctly. Also, in some places it is just too risky to do it. Richmond is as far as we can go. How high can you make a tsunami wave? We have not tried those yet. They estimate 30 meters when it comes to Japan. Also, this weapon has a range, and it is not huge. What do you mean by too risky to do it in some places? The Indian point reactor is fucked, they have evacuated. True. But what has Taiwan done against Russia? Attacking Jew clusters in Wymerica is base though. Now where are our fox women in exchange for joining the right side of history? Can one of you Ruskianans just release the schematics of their acoustic weapons to the Ward Hunter forum? I'd like to make one and use it on Israelis. They got a 4,8 in Richmond. A simple warning. If a warning is all you want to issue, that's good. In other cities, perhaps such as NYC, an intended 4,8 might become a 9 due to the condition of the soil and all those subways. It's like blindly firing a .308 through water that is inconsistently viscous. One jug will let the slug through, the jug next to it will stop it and explode. Tectonics are fluid dynamics on a colossal scale. A warning to what end? Russia telling the US to back off in Ukraine? I guess they're trying to fire some shots across the bow, not obliterate the whole ship. Russia under Putin will never target Turkey. Yeah, that's what I thought. US was the one warning its people before the attack. We just pump energy in unison, creating something like echoes. We do it until the process becomes self-sustaining. You see, the mantle is more like ocean, it has currents and rivers in it. If you collapse a few of small rivers together, you create a stream. Long story short, there is a risk of miscalculation of the tectonics. Then we might do something dangerous, like melt ice caps or something, that might change the balance of salty water in the ocean, and that might fuck up Gulf Stream. I mean, this is really dangerous. Cola super deep borehole. Did you guys really hear the sounds of hell? Or was that a meme added by normies? Gigakek. Godspeed Anon, you Russian have such base technologies. Turn to rubble the whole fucking America. God please, Russia bro, please nuke US. They did it to be able to start this project in the first place, it was a meme. The thing with it is, they accidentally created a tiny earthquake there, in a place where there were no earthquakes recorded ever. Well, suppose NATO scales up, and this weapon is used to completely level NYC. Perhaps it's moved to another part of Russia and suddenly the entire west coast is in range. Right now it's been a single earthquake. What's stopping them from sustaining an 8 for 10 minutes? Anywhere on the west coast, anywhere close to Philly if they don't move the weapon. I presume the team thinks NYC is too dangerous as well. LMAO, they are trying their best to warn us bro, don't be a grammar Nazi. Russians have not underground vehicles apparently down there creating earthquakes. Kane lives. So I felt it here in upstate New York, you must be able to nuke NYC. I mean please Anon, I think we're long due a purge. Tectonic weapons are the ultimate decapitating strike weapons. Doesn't matter how many kilometer deep your bunker is sitting. Well, apparently here in Kansas City we had an earthquake month or so ago, and now coming out that it was caused by a collapse in a mine here. Looking up Lebanon, New Jersey, there are many mines there. Perhaps they had a collapse in one of their mines. If America has an ice neutrino machine in Antarctica, I'm sure Russia has a similar one. America's been arguing about Trump and what bathroom to use while the rest of the world is preparing for war. Generals had tried to terraform the earth in Metropolis, close proximity to Gotham City. No wonder the USGS shits on Dutchsons so much. According to him, they hit Richmond while aiming for Washington. Taking a quick glance at Google Earth, it looks like if they aim for Philadelphia they hit NYC or Washington DC. That's thing that is kind of bugging me about today. The news says for everyone to stay inside during an earthquake and only call 911 if someone is hurt. But I thought you should go outside away from buildings during an earthquake? Huh. Interesting. I'd imagine Elf wouldn't have enough energy to do anything interesting, but then again. Anyway, I didn't know about solid and waves, so even if this is probably a LARP, it was enjoyable and I learned something. Here's a picture of me at the Duga radar in Ukraine. Have a good day Russ Anon. 7.7 magnitude confirmed. It's going to miss Virginia and hit South Carolina though. I'm not Russian LOL. ELF is just a frequency by which energy moves. You should follow Dutchsons on YouTube, he's explained it many times. Quakes occur when energy moves beneath the tectonic plates and along the fault lines and the tippy top of the sine wave strikes the plate. Witnessed. If it happens, I have never been in a screen cap before. Finance Minister of Japan said US caused the earthquakes that initiated the Fukushima disaster shortly after it happened.
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to paranormal Greentext stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.